He's a good man. Since he's kind of a homebody, he didn't want to go out there doing all that. He never would do interviews or any of that. And we have our own personal life.
Dolly Parton, known for her bubbly personality and iconic music, has had her share of ups and downs. Behind the scenes, she had an alleged feud with a well-known female celebrity. Rumors suggest there was no love lost between them. While Dolly's public image remains bright, there were times when she struggled with intense feelings toward this star. This video will also explore Dolly's early life before she found fame, giving you a deeper look into her career and personal struggles. What really went on behind closed doors? Life before fame. Dolly Rebecca Parton was born on January 19, 1946, in the modest surroundings of Sevier County, Tennessee. She was born in a one-room cabin near the Little Pigeon River in the Great Smoky Mountains, a reflection of her family's humble beginnings. Her parents, Robert Lee Parton and Avie Lee Caroline Owens, had a large family with 12 children, and Dolly was the fourth. The Partons faced considerable financial struggles. They lived without electricity or indoor plumbing, relying on the land and Robert Lee's work as a farmer and construction laborer to sustain them. From an early age, music was an integral part of Dolly's life. Her mother, Avie Lee, who had a beautiful singing voice, introduced her to the traditional ballads and church hymns of the region. This early exposure to music laid the foundation for Dolly's later career. She began singing in church at a very young age, showcasing her budding talent. By the time she was 6, Dolly was performing regularly, and her passion for music only grew. In 1952, when Dolly was around 6 years old, she started performing with a homemade guitar. Recognizing her potential, her uncle Bill Owens, who was himself involved in the local music scene, gifted her a real guitar when she was just 8. This marked a pivotal moment in Dolly's life, as she began composing her own songs and dreaming of a career in music. Despite their financial difficulties, Dolly's family was supportive of her ambitions, nurturing her talents and encouraging her to pursue her dreams. Dolly's upbringing was steeped in the cultural traditions of the Appalachian region, which had a profound influence on her musical style. The stories and music of her childhood were deeply rooted in the area's folklore, and Dolly absorbed these influences, blending them with her unique voice and perspective. Her family's poverty did not dampen her spirits. Instead, it fueled her determination to succeed and provide a better life for her loved ones. Early career. Dolly Parton's journey in music began at an impressively young age. In 1955, she started performing on local radio and television shows in East Tennessee, most notably on The Cass Walker Show. These early appearances were pivotal in helping her develop confidence and stage presence. The exposure also allowed her to hone her skills as a performer, setting the foundation for her future career. By the time she was a teenager, Dolly had already made a name for herself in the local music scene. After graduating from high school in 1964, Dolly made a bold move to Nashville to chase her dreams in the country music capital. Initially, she faced the typical struggles of an aspiring artist, finding it difficult to secure a foothold in the competitive industry. However, her songwriting talents soon caught the attention of Combine Publishing. She began writing hits for other artists, including the song "Put It Off Until Tomorrow," which became a success for Bill Phillips. This song earned her and her uncle Bill Owens a BMI award, highlighting her potential as a songwriter. In 1965, Dolly signed with Monument Records. Initially, the label tried to market her as a pop artist, but her early singles did not achieve significant success. Recognizing her true potential in country music, Monument shifted its strategy, leading to the release of her first country single, "Dumb Blonde," in 1966. The song reached number 24 on the Billboard Country Music chart, marking a turning point in her career. It showcased her strong, independent persona, resonating with country audiences and setting her on a path to stardom. A significant milestone in Dolly's career came in 1967 when she joined the Porter Wagoner Show. Porter Wagoner, a well-established country music star, saw great potential in Dolly and invited her to join his television program. This partnership was instrumental in expanding her reach to a broader audience. Under Wagoner's guidance, Dolly signed with RCA Victor, with Wagoner promising to produce her records. Their first single together, The Last Thing on My Mind, was released in October 1967 and reached the top 10 on the country chart. The success of this duet solidified their musical partnership and led to the release of their first collaborative album, Just Between You and Me, in 1968. The album was a commercial success, peaking at number 8 on the Billboard Top Country Albums chart. The duo's chemistry was undeniable, and their performances captivated audiences, further establishing Dolly as a rising star in the country music scene. While her partnership with Wagoner was flourishing, Dolly was also keen on pursuing her solo career. In 1968, she released her first solo album for RCA, Just Because I'm a Woman. Although the album did not achieve the same level of success as her duets with Wagoner, it was an important step in her career. The title track, Just Because I'm a Woman, addressed the double standards faced by women, showcasing Dolly's boldness in tackling social issues through her music. In 1969, Dolly Parton made a pivotal decision that would shape her career trajectory. After 7 years on The Porter Wagoner Show, she chose to leave the program to pursue a solo career. This move was significant, as it marked her desire to establish her identity in the music industry independently. The transition was not without its challenges, but Dolly was determined to prove herself beyond the shadow of her mentor, Porter Wagoner. Her departure was marked by the release of the song Just Because I'm a Woman in 1968, a clear statement of her independence and self-assurance. The song set the tone for her solo career, showcasing her unique voice and ability to write relatable personal lyrics. As she stepped out on her own, Dolly continued to craft songs that resonated deeply with audiences, and her distinctive style began to shine through. One of her most iconic hits, Jolene, was released in 1973. The song's haunting melody and vivid storytelling quickly captured the hearts of listeners, making it a classic in her repertoire. Jolene climbed to number 1 on the country charts and solidified Dolly's reputation as a gifted storyteller with a powerful voice. In 1974, Dolly wrote and recorded I Will Always Love You, a farewell to Porter Wagoner. The song was both a declaration of love and a statement of independence, reflecting the complexity of their professional relationship. It topped the country charts and later gained global recognition when Whitney Houston covered it in 1992, turning it into a massive hit. This period marked Dolly's ascent to superstardom, with other hits like Love is Like a Butterfly and The Bargain Store, further cementing her status as a leading figure in country music. By the mid-1970s, Dolly Parton had firmly established herself as a country music superstar. However, she was not content to rest on her laurels. In 1976, she began exploring new musical territories, aiming to reach a broader audience. This phase of her career was characterized by a deliberate effort to cross over into pop music, a move that was both bold and risky for a country artist at the time. Her 1977 album, Here You Come Again, marked a significant turning point. The title track became a major hit, reaching number 3 on the pop charts and number 1 on the country album charts. This success demonstrated Dolly's versatility and ability to appeal to a diverse audience. The album's blend of pop and country elements showcased her knack for crafting catchy, relatable songs that resonated across genres. During this period, Dolly also became a familiar face on television. She made frequent appearances on talk shows and variety programs, charming audiences with her wit and charisma. In 1976, she launched her own variety show, Dolly, which ran for a year. The show allowed her to showcase her talents beyond music, further endearing her to fans and expanding her reach. Dolly's efforts did not go unnoticed by the industry. She received numerous accolades, including several Country Music Association, or CMA, awards. In 1978, she was named the CMA's Entertainer of the Year, a prestigious recognition of her contributions to country music. This period of her career was marked by both commercial success and critical acclaim, as she continued to push boundaries and defy expectations. As the 1980s dawned, Dolly Parton made yet another bold career move by venturing into acting. Her film debut came with the comedy 9 to 5 in 1980, where she starred alongside Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. The film was a commercial success, and Dolly's performance was widely praised. Her natural charm and comedic timing shone through, making her a standout in the ensemble cast. In addition to her acting, Dolly contributed to the film's success with the title song 9 to 5. The track became one of her biggest hits, topping the country charts and reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song's catchy tune and empowering lyrics resonated with many, making it an anthem for working women. It showcased Dolly's ability to connect with a wide audience and solidified her status as a versatile entertainer. Following the success of 9 to 5, Dolly continued to explore opportunities in film. In 1982, she starred in The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, a musical comedy that once again highlighted her acting and singing talents. The movie featured the song Hard Candy Christmas, which became another hit for Dolly. Her performances in these films demonstrated her ability to transition seamlessly between different forms of entertainment. Throughout this period, Dolly also maintained a prolific music career. In 1981, she released the album 9 to 5 and Odd Jobs, which was a commercial success. The album's blend of country, pop, and rock elements showcased her musical versatility and willingness to experiment with different sounds. This era of her career was characterized by a continuous stream of successful albums and singles, further establishing her as a major figure in the entertainment industry. Continued success. In 1983, Dolly teamed up with Kenny Rogers for the hit duet Islands in the Stream. Written by the Bee Gees, it quickly topped both country and pop charts, proving Dolly's wide appeal. In 1984, she released The Great Pretender, an album of classic 50s and 60s covers showcasing her unique touch on old favorites. The next year, Dolly and Kenny reunited for Real Love, another successful duet. But it was her 1987 collaboration with Emmylou Harris and Linda Ronstadt on the album Trio that really stood out. The album, which went platinum and won a Grammy, was praised for the harmonies and chemistry among the trio, becoming a landmark in country music. As the 80s ended, Dolly returned to her country roots with the 1989 album White Limousine, a hit with both critics and fans. Around the same time, she opened Dollywood in Tennessee, a theme park celebrating Appalachian culture, which quickly became a popular destination. In 1991, Dolly released Eagle When She Flies, featuring hits like Rockin' Years with Ricky Van Shelton. Her variety show Dolly also aired from 1987 to 1988, showcasing her singing and entertaining skills. The early 90s were busy for Dolly. In 1993, she released Slow Dancing with the Moon, featuring artists like Mary Chapin Carpenter and Tanya Tucker. The album was well received, highlighting Dolly's talent for collaboration. In 1994, her live album Heart Songs Live From Home captured a performance at Dollywood, showcasing her live appeal. She then revisited traditional country with Something Special in 1995 and released Treasures in 1996, an acoustic album of her favorite covers. In 1999, Dolly embraced her bluegrass roots with The Grass is Blue, which received critical acclaim and won the International Bluegrass Music Association's Album of the Year award. This album marked a significant point in her career, bringing her back to the Appalachian music she loved and earning her new fans. Following this success, Dolly continued exploring bluegrass with the 2001 album Little Sparrow, blending traditional and contemporary styles. The album was well received, with critics praising her vocals and the authenticity of the music, as Dolly delved deep into her musical roots. In 2002, Dolly released Halos and Horns, showcasing her versatility with a mix of bluegrass, country, and other genres. One standout track was her bluegrass take on Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, highlighting her adventurous musical spirit. Around this time, Dolly's songwriting was celebrated with her induction into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2001, cementing her influence in the music world. The early 2000s saw Dolly's career thrive with collaborations and TV appearances. In 2003, she dropped For God and Country, a patriotic album blending classic American tunes with her own compositions, showing her deep connection to her roots. She worked with many artists, enhancing her status as a music industry icon. Dolly's TV appearances kept her in the spotlight, introducing her music to new fans. She performed on various talk shows and specials, discussing her career and life philosophy, which reinforced her image as a beloved and relatable star. As the mid-2000s arrived, Dolly continued to explore new horizons in music and business. In 2006, she released Those Were the Days, an album of covers from the 60s and 70s, where she put her unique spin on classic hits, showing her appreciation for that era's music. Dolly's business savvy was evident with Dollywood, her theme park in Tennessee, becoming a major tourist draw. She was hands-on with its operations, often making appearances which endeared her further to fans and demonstrated her entrepreneurial spirit. In 2008, Dolly made a notable return to mainstream country with Backwoods Barbie, her first in nearly a decade. The album, featuring both new songs and covers, debuted at #2 on the Billboard Top Country Albums chart. Fans and critics praised it, highlighting her blend of traditional country with her unique style. In 2009, Dolly ventured into Broadway with 9 to 5 the Musical, based on the 1980 film. She wrote all the music and lyrics, earning several Tony nominations, including Best Original Score. This success showcased her talent as a songwriter and composer, expanding her influence in entertainment. During this period, Dolly toured extensively, performing to sold-out crowds worldwide. Her concerts were a mix of classic hits and new material, filled with warmth and charisma, allowing her to connect personally with her audience by sharing stories and insights from her life and career. Beyond her music, Dolly Parton has been dedicated to philanthropy, focusing on literacy and disaster relief. She expanded her imagination library, which gives free books to children from birth to age 5, to several countries outside the U.S. Her passion for reading and education was evident in her efforts. Dolly also contributed significantly to disaster relief, supporting communities hit by natural disasters. Her charitable work showed her commitment to making a positive impact. In 2011, Dolly released the album Better Day, which mixed traditional and modern country sounds. Despite mixed reviews, it showcased her strong vocals and reached number 51 on the Billboard 200 and number 9 on the UK Albums chart, her highest in the UK at the time. In 2014, Dolly released Blue Smoke, an album celebrating her musical roots with bluegrass, country, and gospel elements. It debuted at number 6 on the Billboard 200 and topped the Billboard Top Country Albums chart. The accompanying Blue Smoke World Tour was a success, praised for her energetic performances and heartfelt storytelling. Pure and Simple came out in 2016, featuring love songs and a stripped-down production that highlighted Dolly's vocals and songwriting. It debuted at number 11 on the Billboard 200 and topped the Top Country Albums chart. The Pure and Simple Tour, her biggest North American tour in over 25 years, reconnected her with fans across the continent. During this time, Dolly also made strides in TV and film, producing Dolly Parton's Christmas of Many Colors, Circle of Love, a sequel to Dolly Parton's Coat of Many Colors. These films, based on her early life, resonated with audiences and showcased her storytelling skills beyond music. In 2020, Dolly released A Holly Dolly Christmas, her third Christmas album, featuring collaborations with artists like Michael Bublé and Willie Nelson. It debuted at number 16 on the Billboard 200 and topped the Top Country Albums chart, showing her continued versatility and broad appeal. In 2021, Dolly won an Emmy for her Christmas special, Dolly Parton's Christmas on the Square, highlighting her ongoing influence in entertainment. She also announced a collaboration with author James Patterson on the book Run, Rose, Run, accompanied by a soundtrack released in 2022, blending literature and music. Dolly's induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2022 celebrated her influence beyond country music. Her rock credentials were solidified with the 2023 release of Rockstar, featuring collaborations with legends like Paul McCartney and Stevie Nicks. The album received positive reviews for its ambitious blend of rock and country. In 2023, Dolly launched Vinyl Me Parton, a subscription service with Vinyl Me Please to reissue classic albums from her catalog on vinyl. This included landmark albums like Jolene and 9 to 5 and Odd Jobs, allowing new generations to enjoy her music in its original format, underscoring her enduring legacy. The alleged feud with Linda Ronstadt. Did she really hated her? The formation of Trio. In 1987, Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, and Emmylou Harris released a collaborative album titled Trio. The album combined their distinct talents and received critical acclaim. Though the idea for a collaboration arose in the 1970s, it wasn't until 1986 that their schedules aligned. The name Trio paid homage to the Kingston Trio, a prominent folk revival group from the late 1950s. This album marked Parton's return to her musical roots after years of exploring a pop-oriented sound. Recording challenges. The recording process for the first album had its challenges, but nothing compared to what they faced during their second collaboration. Scheduling and musical conflicts created tension, particularly between Parton and Ronstadt. According to producer George Massenburg, the women ruled the sessions. It was the girls' record. These are three women who have taken great control of their lives and their careers and will not accept the old ideas about their place in music and in the world. Despite these challenges, the first album went multi-platinum and won a Grammy, solidifying their success as a collaborative group. Delays and disagreements. As they began working on their second album, problems escalated. Emmylou Harris revealed that contacting Parton for the follow-up album was difficult. "It's very difficult to get in touch with Dolly. She has more people around her," Harris said. Ronstadt and Harris even proposed recording as a duo with Parton featuring on several tracks. However, Parton insisted on recording as a trio, or not at all. The timing issues continued, and tensions grew. Parton jokingly suggested the album could be called The Three Tempers, due to their clashes. Ronstadt's meticulous studio work frustrated Parton, who preferred a faster pace. Parton once remarked, "Ronstadt loves to work in the studio and work so slow, it drives me nuts. I wanted to say, wake up, I got stuff to do." Despite starting some recordings in 1994, the album's release was delayed until 1999. Parton wanted to push it back further to promote it better, but it was released earlier than she preferred. The experience left her feeling hurt and burdened with guilt, feeling that her word wasn't good enough for her collaborators. Acknowledging the challenges. In her 1994 autobiography, Dolly, My Life and Other Unfinished Business, Parton admitted that she was a primary problem in getting the album together. She apologized to Harris and Ronstadt, expressing hope that the project would turn out well, even though she was unsure if it would ever come to fruition. Collaboration and professionalism. In 1999, Ronstadt acknowledged their working relationship, stating that they were good colleagues with a common love for traditional music, despite not always getting along. "I think we are good colleagues. Our relationship has always been based on a common love for traditional music. The sum is greater than the parts." However, she noted that working with Parton could be challenging. Any suggestions for change would just roll off her. She does it her way, and that's it. Despite these challenges, the second album received a Grammy nomination for Best Country Album, and the song After the Gold Rush won the Grammy Award for Best Country Collaboration with Vocals. Struggles in recording. Ronstadt openly discussed the difficulties of recording with Parton and Harris. In a 1978 interview with Rolling Stone, Ronstadt mentioned the complications of coordinating with 3 different managers and record companies. She questioned the impact on their collaborative album if it had to compete with Parton's solo work due to poor timing. Additionally, finding a style that suited all 3 artists was a significant challenge. The trio eventually decided to record the album within 10 days, an insurmountable task, according to Ronstadt. "Well, it wouldn't have mattered if Jesus Christ and Buddha had been producing that album. You can't do something like that in 10 days, she said. The album, however, took much longer to complete. Success despite challenges. The public reception of Trio was overwhelmingly positive. The album reached number 6 on the Billboard 200 and remained on the chart for 48 weeks. On Billboard's Top Country Albums chart, it hit number 1 and stayed on the chart for 84 weeks. In the UK, the album peaked at number 60 and remained on the chart for 4 weeks. Trio earned the Grammy Award for Best Country Performance by a duo or group with vocal and was also nominated for Album of the Year. The track Telling Me Lies was nominated for Best Country Song. Despite the difficulties in its creation, Trio proved to be a successful and beloved album. Social tensions. While Parton and Ronstadt collaborated professionally, Parton often felt out of place in Ronstadt's social circles. Parton, who had risen to fame while maintaining her country roots, felt uncomfortable at parties hosted by Ronstadt. Her guitarist, Don Roth, explained that if Parton seemed snooty, it was because she was scared of big city people and unfamiliar social situations. If she seemed snooty, it's because she was scared. Because she's scared of big city people in New York to begin with. But if there's one thing Dolly ain't, it's snooty. She's open and funny until she gets in a situation that she can't handle, and then she goes into the shell a little bit. Roth recounted Parton's struggles at Ronstadt's parties, where major artists often attended. Parton did not feel she fit in and preferred to avoid these gatherings. She's often said when she goes to a party at Ronstadt's house, she just wants to get out of there as soon as possible, Roth said. Everybody was saying to her for a long time, "Isn't that great?" You'll go to Linda's party and meet a Rolling Stone, and all these people will be there. But she said, I'd really rather not. I like Linda and all, but boy, I'm sure not into her crowd.